Good morning, children. Saira. Welcome back to the first chapter on equality. Children, we are going to start with the part 2 of this chapter today. But before we move ahead, let us have a bird's eye view on what we studied in the last session. We started with equality and its meaning. We learned about the universal adult franchise. We saw Kanta's story and we studied the kinds of equality inequality like caste and religion. We also saw story of Ram Prakash and the Ansaris, which was based on the real inequality experiences encountered by them. We also saw the dignity of the individual. We saw that every individual, whether rich or poor, from high or low caste, educated or illiterate, has an equal right to dignity. The dignity and self-respect of each person is very important. Any form of inequality or disrespect erodes the worth of the person. The self-respect of every individual, be it a businessman or a laborer, is priceless. Sometimes we hear abusive language being used against those working under us. We are being cruel in our treatment to those who are less fortunate. This is also a type of inequality. They are no less than any one of us. Violating someone's dignity goes against the law and against the basic tenets of our Constitution. In this session, children, we are going to learn about equality in Indian democracy and the steps taken by the government to implement equality. Now, children, I hope you have your pen and notepad handy with you so that you can jot down the important points or terminologies. Let us start with the first thing, which is equality in Indian democracy. The Constitution of India recognizes all citizens of India as equal. It has bestowed on us the same rights irrespective of religious, caste, class, economic and educational background. Whether one stays in a city or in a small remote village, we all are the citizens of India and are equal before the laws of the land. Children, the same laws apply to the President of the India as well as to the ordinary citizen. The Constitution has very clearly stated that no person, whether male or female, rich or poor, high caste or low caste, can be discriminated based on one's identity. Belonging to the low income group or to a particular religious community or being a woman should not be used as a tool for discrimination or inequality. Every individual has a right to use public areas such as parks, market areas, roads, etc. Every citizen is allowed to use them. More importantly, no one can practice or support untouchability. It has been abolished and is punishable under law. The Constitution of India lays down the fundamental rights and duties of the citizens. Children, earlier no law existed to protect people from discrimination and ill treatment. Now, there are several laws that work to see that the people are treated with dignity and as equals. This recognition of equality includes some of the provisions in the constitutions. Firstly, that every person is equal before the law. Now, what this means is that every person, right from the president of the country to Kanta, the domestic worker, about whom we studied in the previous session, has to obey the same law. Secondly, no person can be discriminated against on the basis of their religion, race, caste, place of birth, or whether they are female or a male. And third, every person has access to all public places, including playgrounds, hotels, shops, markets, etc. All people can use publicly available wells, roads, bathing ghats, and lastly, the fourth one is untouchability has been abolished. Now let us understand the steps taken by the government to implement equality. It has been a continuous process for the Government of India to formulate laws to enforce equality. Several welfare programs and schemes have been launched for the upliftment of the backward sections of society. While the law helps to maintain order and discourage people from practicing any form of inequality, the welfare schemes provides the much needed support for the oppressed sections to improve their condition. Children, there are some schemes like the Right to Education Act, which allows every child an opportunity to study. Poor families can now send their children to school without considering it as an expense and as an opportunity to a better life. Another incentive for sending children to school could be the midday meal scheme, which provides lunch to the children in all government elementary schools. They now get a proper meal along with the education. The two ways in which the government has tried to implement the equality that is guaranteed in the Constitution is first through laws and second through the government programs or schemes to help disadvantaged communities. Now children, as I said, there are several laws in India that protect every person's right to be treated equally. Now, in addition to these laws, government has also set up several schemes to improve the lives of the communities and individuals who have been treated unequally for several centuries. These schemes are to ensure greater opportunity for people who have not had this in the past. One of the steps taken by government includes the midday meal scheme. Now this refers to a program introduced in all government elementary schools to provide children with cooked lunch. Tamil Nadu was the first state in India to introduce this scheme. The Supreme Court asked all the states to begin this program in their schools, and it had a lot of positive effects. The fact that many poor children began enrolling and attending the school regularly. Teachers also reported that earlier children would often go home for lunch and then they would not return to school. But after the implementation of midday meal being provided in the school, their attendance improved. Their mothers, who earlier had to interrupt their work to feed their children at home, during the day no longer need to do so. This program has also helped reduce caste prejudices because both lower and upper caste children in the school eat this meal together. Dalit women have been employed to cook the meal. The midday meal program also helps reduce the hunger of the poor children who often come to school and cannot concentrate because their stomachs are empty. Now, children, a small recap on whatever we learned today. We started the session with recognizing dignity, followed by equality in Indian democracy. The Indian Constitution guarantees equality to all Indian citizens and does not allow the state to discriminate against any citizen on the grounds of race, caste, sex, place of birth and or like anything amongst this. The Indian Constitution abolishes untouchability and assures every individual equal access to all public places. Now, in spite of Indian Constitution guaranteeing equality to all Indians, economic background, religion, gender and caste still play an important role in the society. We also saw the steps taken by government to implement equality. Now, in this, we saw the midday meal scheme started by government. Hope you have enjoyed this session. Children, we will meet in the next session. Till then, take care and stay safe.